yeah, while we're waiting for anybody who wants to join,
Yes. Anyone who's here for on a Tuesday night.
right, I got my Masters of the Universe back.
Nice. I gotta get one of those thermoses.
Yeah.
I don't know if thermos is the correct plural. Maybe it's thermi.
Thermi.
I need to get.
Yeah, it's got a nice battle scene on it as well. I mean, you've got him against Skeletor.
Wow.
Sorcerer.
Yeah, I've said it before. The top kind of has like a fleshlight sort of feel to it, or look to it, I should say. Hopefully not feel.
I wouldn't know about the feel, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I of course I wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
Hey, what's up, Phil?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. So before we get into talking about what era we've decided we're in, should we talk about what cards we picked up?
I can think of no greater topic that I like to talk about than that.
Yeah. Well, you want to talk about yours first?
Let's talk about yours first.
Okay. All right. Here's a card I picked up a couple weeks back in one of the chats that we have. People were talking about it. So I went and looked at it, and it was really all kind of cheap, and it looked good. So I threw the guy an offer, and
boom.
Here it is.
Yeah, I will say, having seen it in person, that the gold refractors out of 2023 Topps Chrome look really, really nice. They're I think they're a little thicker than they have been.
Yeah, nice thickness on the whatever gauge the paper is. The centering,
surprisingly good. Yeah. I mean, Topps didn't solve all their centering problems overnight, but the golds look pretty good. Hey, what's up, Doug?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Doug? Yeah, and so Chris and I don't have a lot of wits. I thought I'd pick this up because it's gold. It's not a rookie. It's his rookie cup, which I love. But yeah, the price was right, so I picked it up. And he's been kind of on fire since I picked it up.
Yeah, it was funny. So someone posted that in our group chat. And
Yeah.
5 or 6 minutes later, someone was like, "Oh, the wit's already gone."
Yeah.
I hadn't heard from you. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I bet Jeff bought that car. I bet Jeff jumped on it.
I threw him an offer, and I can't remember what he had it posted at, like $100 or something. Or,
yep.
I don't know. And I threw him a $70 offer. Took it. So
right up.
Yeah, and I want to get into talking about wit, but we should show your card first because it's pretty great, and we teased it a little bit on the IG story that I put up.
It photographs extremely well, I have to say, for an inanimate object that doesn't move, and it's a photo of several men. It photographs very, very well. It's a very photogenic baseball card.
Here's the several men.
Yeah, that's such an awesome card.
Yeah.
So people interested in Bobby Witt, and I feel like a lot of people are, because this young man is definitely on fire. He's looking at potential 30-40 season even. He has a lot of rookie autos. So just to quickly kind of run you through my thought process, I was looking for something that's different, something that's low numbered, and something that honestly had an image that looked cool, because he's got our friend Scotty B did that video where he broke down Wander has at least 20,000 rookie autos across Topps products. Bobby Witt shouldn't have that many, but it's got to be close to 12 to 15,000. So it's a ton. He has an absolute ton. So that one stood out to me because, as you know, I love Stadium Club. That image is really cool, and that image is not anywhere else, at least in terms of autos. So that's numbered out of 25. There's 5 reds and a super. So there's 31 autographs of Bobby Witt with that image.
Yes, and so it's a very rare image, which is unique.
Yes. But I also want to say, I'm very realistic. This card is not going to, buy me a car in the future. I don't think this is going to quadruple in value or anything. It's a really cool card with a beautiful design. The throwback to 91 is great. The auto's in a perfect spot. It's got a lot of stuff that I like about it, which is really why I bought it, because the fact is it's numbered at 25. Jeff and I were just talking about this. That's not that unusual. Sadly, that's just not that rare. I did a quick search on eBay, and I found there are currently 31 different Topps Bobby Witt rookie autos numbered at 25 for sale. That's different. That's not the total number. That's the individual ones that I was able to find. So assume there's more than 31 total. And even, I think, 6 of those came out of Stadium Club alone. So I was just looking for something with an image I liked because I think at this point with the autos, we're going to talk more about autos. But I feel like if you're buying an autograph, you buy something you like that looks good to you, that kind of speaks to you. And this card jumps out at me. Like the color is fantastic. Like we said, the 91 foil on it's awesome. So
Yeah, Doug asked. It is a refractor. I
yes,
don't know. I mean, it's kind of a. I mean, it's a regular refractor, numbered to 25.
yes, yeah, yeah. The
Do
the
they
ones with
call it
that,
anything? Do they call it like a rainbow? What do they call it?
I think it's just the 91 variation.
Okay,
I think that's what they call it.
but it is a refractor. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they definitely refract, as
Okay.
it were. So there's that. Then there's the red numbered out of 5 and a super. And that's it. And for whatever reason, Bobby Witt's like regular Stadium Club Chrome Auto is a different picture. I don't know for whatever.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us from Japan. Uh, Dave mentioned Witt is a splendid topic, and yeah, he's kind of popular in hobby circles right now. He of course was when he first was drafted,
Oh, yeah.
um, but he's an interesting case because he's not he's not a statistical anomaly, at least a rate stats anomaly like say Acuna or Soto. WAR doesn't love him.
No.
OPS plus, his OPS plus last year was 102, like barely league average, even though he had a 2030 season. This year it's a little higher, but it's still like 122, 123.
Yeah, he went up, 20, I don't know, 20 points of OPS plus. That's pretty good. His OPS actually went up 100 points from last year to this year, which is really exciting. That's what you want to see a first year player do in his second year.
For sure, but still, even given the premium position he plays, you'd think his WAR would be higher. Than he's got 4 right now, and a lot of that came in the last 3 weeks.
It feels like it came in the last like 12 days.
Yeah. So we'll see where it ends up, but it's interesting because on the surface he's got I think 37 steals, 25 home runs already.
Exactly. Yep.
So it would seem like his WAR would be higher, but his OBP is kind of low. Um, so yeah, there's some things stat wise that hold him down that way. But what he was reminding me of is a guy like Devers, we like, whose WAR also doesn't really love, but he's compiling some huge numbers.
Yes, he just hits.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that'd be interesting. I mean, Witt just turned 23 during this year, but he's already got what 50, almost 50 home runs for his career. Yeah, almost 40, 70 stolen bases.
Yeah, 45 homers, 57 steals for his career, give or take.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more. Maybe
right.
60.
By the time he ends this year, he'll be there. So yeah, he's an interesting guy. I mean, he's got less than 5 career WAR, but he's already piled up quite a few of those stats that people love. So I wonder if that's, I mean, if that's the worst he is, he's probably going to have a great career.
Oh yeah, he's yeah. It's just also interesting when you say this is his age 23 season, like how we have just been so spoiled by like 19-year-olds coming up and just picking up the game like it's nothing.
Right.
I mean, he's 23. That means Soto's a year older than him, and Soto's already won a ring, and he's been 4 years.
27 WAR. Yeah. Yeah. So when you look at it like that, I mean, compared to historically where a lot of players have come by this age, he's doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he could get to 100 RBIs too this year. Another counting round number.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's doing it in some relative anonymity in Canada.
Hey, A Collector's Dream. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. I wonder, what's up, Andrew? If that's going to help or hurt him for now.
I don't know. I could see him he's almost like the next Kyle Tucker in a way.
Yeah.
A guy who's just I could see him just routinely putting up big numbers and people not paying a ton of attention. But I don't know. I really
think in the last, it'd be interesting to know. I haven't followed it too closely, but like you mentioned, the last 12 days, he's been just dominant the last 2 weeks. And so I wonder how much that's affected his card prices.
I would like to think they've gone up, but Kyle Tucker has been probably every bit as dominant. And I don't a single Facebook post with someone looking for Kyle Tucker cards.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt, I've seen a lot of people asking for him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he probably will get a nice bump. Maybe it's like because he debuted a little bit later. He kind of debuted in the boom. Maybe he's going to be a little bit more popular than Kyle Tucker. Maybe it's the mustache. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see Spencer.
I mean, he plays with a little more flair than Kyle Tucker, and that might get some fans as well.
Yeah, maybe Topps could do like a Strider Bobby Witt like mustache combo auto in Heritage next year. That would look like a perfect throwback card.
Yeah, it would. You're right. Corey Seager hasn't moved either. Corey Seager's season. Let's talk about that for a second. I mean, in 80 games, he's put up a full season worth of numbers. He's going to get a lot of MVP votes and may play 100 games this year.
Yeah, he should finish in the top 5 or 6 in MVP. Yeah, and you're playing just like 100, 110 games. Yeah. He's just an absolute monster. He loves hitting in that ballpark. He's at a great spot, like Simeon in front of him and Adolis Garcia behind him. That's a nice spot to hit.
Yeah, you wonder if Texas actually makes some kind of noise in the postseason. Maybe Seager will get a little more recognition.
I don't know. I think he's missed a lot of time with injury, and he's not that young.
Yeah.
Yankees lost to the Nationals, huh?
Yeah, Rodon miraculously only gave up 1 run, and they can't even win in a game when he pitches decently.
I mean, I'm shocked he pitched. Did he survive the game? Like, was he able to leave the mound under his own power? I mean,
I think he had a total of 1 strikeout and no walks. So I don't know if he was just throwing BP and got lucked into a lot of outs. I didn't see it, but
I don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't know. Just maybe just shut him down and hope he can pitch next year. But yeah, the other big news is Trout's back. That's exciting. I can't believe I saw the Angels have the worst record since the trade deadline. Can that be true?
The worst.
The worst. They went all in, and it has not worked.
Does Ohtani's success cramp Trout's style?
I think Trout's injuries cramp Trout's style. I think if the two of them, if he was on his 45 homer pace and killing it, no, his style, I think they'd be 1-2 in the MVP vote. It would be fantastic. Yeah. His stuff would just be nuts. But I think it's his own injuries that's hurting him.
What's up, Dwayne? Yeah, really? I hope to see Trout come back and finish strong. We're not going to get our dream of seeing Trout and Ohtani in the playoffs this year, but
well, barring a miracle.
Yeah.
Anything's possible,
Anything's possible, yeah, but I wouldn't no, and I think Trout loves having another player, another alpha on the team. Just like Doug says, injuries. He's just been snake bitten.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he just breaks a bone in his hand swinging a bat. I mean, the only thing worse than that is our boy Jordan jamming his finger in a door at his house.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder if that's what really happened.
Yeah. Andrew, 100% yes. Ohtani is going to leave the Angels without a shadow of a fraction of a doubt.
No, just depends where he's going to go. That's the question.
Yeah, he's done. He does. I don't think he ever wants to look at Moreno or the GM again. I mean, his locker is going to be, oh, great. The Braves hung on. Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, his locker is going to be cleaned out. He's going to finish that last game, shower, clean his shit out, and never look back at that stadium.
Yeah. But I don't blame him. I mean, they made a little bit of an effort at the trade deadline to.
Yeah, I don't begrudge him making that effort. I think that was, if they're going to keep Ohtani, they had to bring in some players. They couldn't keep him and do nothing. But
yeah, what's up, Lucky Peter?
It just didn't.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it just didn't work. Like I don't begrudge. I'm glad they made an effort.
Yeah. I think they would have alienated the few fans they had left if they had gotten rid of Ohtani. Now at least home fans can see one of the greatest players in modern baseball for another month. So
yeah.
Dwayne says this spring I bought my first Trout card, a PSA 9 Cognac. This summer I sold my first Trout card, PSA 9 Cognac. I just think he missed too much of his prime to really push his stats to GOAT level. Well, I can't begrudge you that. I mean, I think it's a great buying opportunity if you believe that he is going to be an Inner Circle Hall of Fame guy, but his injuries the last 5 years are really kind of putting a damper on that.
It's brutal. Yeah, I mean, I hear people say stuff like that, and I want to argue it, but I can't. It just stinks.
Yeah,
he has not been able to stay on the field. I mean, and it's been fluky stuff too. Remember he pulled his calf jogging from second to third.
Yeah, and missed 3 months because of it.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think that really healed until the offseason. I mean, calf is terrible because you can't walk without using your calf. But it just stinks.
Yeah,
and swinging a bat. These aren't the injuries of someone who's out of shape or not trying. They're just crazy things. It's frustrating because he's just so good. We just want to watch the man play, and he loves to play, and we're all missing out. It's a net loss for all of us.
Well, what's up, Shelly? Jorge says, I just saw in the Padres game, the Angels lost 22 of 38 while Trout was hurt. So missed 38 games, only won 16 of them.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, not surprising because that lineup was pretty bad without him.
Yeah, I did see someone say Betts is going to steal Acuna's MVP. I mean, I would say as much as Acuna had it, I think he's still the front runner. But I think it's a 4-man race.
Yeah.
Between those 4 guys on those 2 teams, like I don't. It would not surprise me if any of the 4 of them won it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at this point, the Dodgers and Braves, they're not playing for the division; they're playing for theoretically home field in the NLCS is on the line. Like that's what they're playing for.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, like you said, I think it's a 4-man race. You wonder how many people are gonna, or how many votes are gonna take away from each other based on their teams. So somebody's asking about Mookie or Trout, and I guess the conversation is right now. I don't know how you couldn't take Mookie right now.
Yeah, no, of course you got to take. Excuse me, you got to take Mookie over Trout now, but for their careers, it's still not close. Like Trout's far and away.
Yes, for their careers, no way. But if you're saying give me one player from here going forward, you got to go with Mookie.
Yeah, for sure.
Positional flexibility, being out on the field. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, just the second part. Give me the guy that plays, please.
And Mookie, I mean, he's a little behind Trout because Trout was so good for those years.
Yeah.
But Betts is also, I mean, he's turning into a huge power hitter. He's able to play the infield now, playing some second base and shortstop. It's just pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like 25 WAR behind Trout. So I mean,
yes, for his career,
because Trout's first like 8 years are otherworldly. You know,
M. Parsons says, but as far as collecting, which is an interesting question, availability trumps everything, Shelley. Yeah, I agree with that. As far as collecting, that's a very interesting question because you wonder where they're going to end up. Like Chris said, Trout's about 25 WAR ahead of Betts right now, but I don't know. Does Trout have 6-8 years left in him? Can Betts play for till he's 40? I don't know. It's hard to say. And compared to their price levels now, Trout's up here, Betts is down here. So in terms of value,
the Mookie buy-in is way low for sure. But yeah, I mean, we just keep saying. I feel like every year we're like, well, if next year if Trout can give us 150 games, and it just doesn't happen, and it continues to not happen, it's very frustrating.
But Betts won't catch Trout WAR.
No,
probably not. But if you would have said that 2 years ago, or let's say 3 years ago, there would have been a 0% chance he catches them. Now it's probably 10-15% chance he catches them.
Yes, the chance exists just because there's always Trout. If he just keeps playing 80 games a year and Betts plays 150,
putting up 9 WAR seasons,
slowly but surely that gap will narrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do wonder about Trout's cards in general. Like if the buy-in for him now is still at the price of someone who is going to be like a 110 WAR player for his career, and I don't know if he's going to be that now.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think since hitting is such a big part of his game. I mean, he used to be. I mean, he was the quintessential 5-tool player. He ran all the time. He's still a great defender. He doesn't steal bases anymore, but he could still hit if he could just DH. Trout MVP also is a factor.
All 3 of them. I mean, he had that run where, like, from 2012 to like what was it, 19? He didn't finish below second or third.
First or second, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, undoubtedly, and that's why all of the Hall of Fame numbers, either Bill James, the Hall of Fame monitor, they've all got him clearly in already.
Yes, 100%. He's in right now, barring a social media post. He's in the Hall of Fame. I feel like we just have to keep saying that because who knows what's gonna pop up tomorrow.
Yeah. But back quickly to that collecting question from M. Parsons. It kind of segues a little bit into what we're talking about tonight in terms of autographs, because Trout has autographs in everything for the last decade, and Betts only has a handful of rookie autographs. So that's also, when you're looking at long-term collecting, a way you might want to get in.
Yeah, for sure. So we ran that poll and we asked people, what era are we in? We talked about how like the late 80s, early 90s was the junk era, where I feel like 88 Donruss has got to be the single most printed paper product in the history of like human existence.
Yeah.
Um, and then like around 2018 to say 2021 would be have to be junk slabs. Like I can't. I am guessing the Burbank their $5, $1 slab things are all. I mean, there's 30,000 Acuna rookies in PSA 10 slabs. Like it's past the brink of insanity.
Yes. And how many in 7 and 8s?
Yeah, and how many Gavin Lux? And I say it every week. Aristides Aquino. Like how many base cards
Right.
are we still slabbing today? That's just it stresses me out just to think about the sheer volume of plastic. That giant garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean has some company headed its way in the next like 10 years for sure.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
But yeah, so we asked people what era are we in right now? The junk blank, because it's usually junk something.
Or
And the two biggest
yeah.
responses I got. Well, to be fair, I got three common responses. One was extremely funny. People said the junk influencer era, which I thought I laughed at. And I have to agree. I think we kind of are in that for everything, not just for sports cards, but just we're in the junk social media era for sure. But the two most common answers were the junk parallel, which Jeff and I completely agree with. How many parallels are in Topps Chrome this year?
27.
20.
27 parallels. Oh, you get a card. You get a numbered card. Well,
Yeah,
big deal.
this must be worth something, especially if it's someone good. Sadly, not the case. But the other junk era that we are currently in is Jeff and I talk about this a lot. It's the junk autograph era,
Yeah.
and it's just the amount of autograph cards that are in all these products. It's just absurd.
And I think what shocked me when I got back into the hobby was like I'd get a pack and I'd pull an autograph and I'd be
Yeah,
really excited about it. Like you never got autographs
no,
ever in the
never,
early 90s. And
never.
then by then I was out of it. So I don't know when it kind of changed, but I was ecstatic about getting
Yeah, it's
news patches, autographs.
are still like sort of exciting. When you and I were first collecting in like the early '90s, the only autos and packs were in the upper deck. I think
Yes.
they had
And
those like
really great.
oh yeah, I think the ads were or the odds were just a bunch of commas. I don't think they even bothered putting numbers in there.
Right. Like the Ted Williams autos.
Yeah, the Reggie Jackson, I
Hank
think
Aaron.
that's the first one, and then there's like a Mickey Mantle, Ken Griffey Jr. one that we see
Yeah.
at shows. There's always a couple of those for some ungodly amounts.
Yeah.
But yeah, or is it? See, that's the thing. Anything, even 500, like I don't know. I worry about anything that's popped over like over 100.
Yeah, so you made a comment before, way too many autos. Look how many are in flagship. Yes, you mentioned before about the junk slabs at Burbank. Well, I took my kids to Burbank Card Shop uh, this week, and you should see the volume of and $2 autos they have.
Oh my
Just
god. Yeah,
5,000 count boxes full. So,
for sure.
and that's the hit. Yeah, Andrew, autos are so common we get upset if we don't pull a good player. That's exactly right. It's like, and when do you pull a good player? I believe Chris told me the checklist for Chrome, the rookies are 130. Is that right?
Yes, there are 130 rookies in Topps Chrome this year, and each rookie will have, give or take, like over two. They're gonna have over 2,000 autos.
Each
There's
of those
15,
130 autos.
yes, 1,500 numbered autos for each player plus base.
Yeah.
130 different rookies. I mean, it's
Uh,
just. I mean, it's
right.
just.
And those are the hits. So that's what you buy the
Hits.
product to pull, and you're pulling one of those.
Yeah.
And what percentage of those would make you happy buying the box? 3%, 4%?
Yeah, probably about that, right? I'd say there's probably
Yeah.
between maybe 5 to 10 rookies you would really want and you get really excited about. And your odds are going to be, I mean, just that leaves 120 that you don't want. I mean, how many times Jeff and I used to open a lot of Stadium Club because it was fairly, as far as opening goes, it was inexpensive.
Right.
We love to look at it. We, have some cocktails and kind of go through the photography was fun. So it's like, as boxes go, it's usually an entertaining break, if unprofitable, which it always was. But we routinely would pull autos of guys. We pulled that one auto, I think, a Your Mean Mercedes, a guy who would hired from baseball like 2 months before.
He had quit. He had a great start.
Yes.
Then he quit by the time we got it.
Yes. Walked off the field and we're like, ooh, rookie auto. And then we kept pulling Brock Burke too. And
yes,
even the back of one of his cards said he was undergoing like arthroscopic shoulder surgery and may never pitch again.
Yeah,
like,
or be out for the next year.
On the card, why are we signing these?
Right.
Good Lord.
Okay, a couple things. Shelly, we are in LA. Thank you for asking about the flooding. We're both okay. Chris's pool overflowed, but he took care of that. We had some wind, we had some branches down in our yard, but other than that, the hurricane, as it's been called, because we had a little earthquake mixed in there. Everything's good. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, it's funny out here. A lot of the trees just aren't used to rainfall like that. So most of the trees, the parts of trees that fell off, the branches and stuff, I think they were too heavy.
Yeah, just waterlogged. Boom. Yeah.
But
we've had a couple really good comments. I just wanted to all my cards suck. Levi, thanks for joining us. The crazy thing about junk autos is even solid established player autos that aren't rookie cards are practically worthless.
Yes,
that's one thing.
Yes. Let me expound on that a little bit. Like players like Trout and Freddie Freeman, for example, they sign in everything, absolutely everything. And God bless them because it's fun to pull their autos. At least it looks like it's fun for other people to pull their autos. Like Jeff and I would not know what that feeling is. But I've seen a lot of people pull these Trout autos on try to sell them on Facebook. But like, I think we're going to get to the point where I think we're there. We are saturated with Mike Trout autos and fully saturated with Freddie Freeman autos. Like, I can't see the demand for these things in years from now. We're going to look back. And if you want a Trout auto, please pick something that has like significance to you, that matters to you. Make it a card that you want. And for example,
like this.
Here's a more absurd example. I bought this giant Freddie Freeman oversized like box stopper auto. And Jeff, you can look away. You don't want to look at this, but
I remember that one.
This means a lot to me, like personally. I know that down the line, this card, call it a card, I guess, because it's big, is not going to maintain a ton of value. I didn't buy this because I think it's going to like multiply in value or pay off. Sorry, my wife, if you're watching. But like, here's Freddie Freeman celebrating his game-winning homer off of Josh Hader in the NLDS in 2021. Yeah. It's numbered out of 10. He signed it on card, and it's huge. I mean, look at these chompers. Look how big.
3D teeth. Yes, M. Parsons.
You almost feel like you're going to lose a finger just holding on to this. So something like this, like I'm thrilled to own this. And I know that he has oversized autos in like almost every product. So it's not necessarily rare. This one, I guess, is rare, but Freeman autos are absolutely not rare. But I bought that one because it means something to me. And the same with like this Austin Riley auto. Not rare, not a rookie, not going to go up in value. But look at his ass on this card. Look at that Georgia. You know, that's fantastic.
So Cardboard Showcase says that's why I stick to Heritage Red Ink autos of Trout. They look cool and have low numbers. That's awesome.
Yes, and he's got a really great run on his Instagram page. You all should check out. He's got a great run of all those reds, and that's great. The Heritage Reds have history. They're all on card. They're all hand numbered. Like that's a perfect example of something that should maintain value going forward. Now, if Trout signs into like his 40s and he's got, 22 years of those Heritage Reds, maybe they'll dip slightly, but it would be absolutely amazing. And Cardboard Showcase, please keep this going, to see all 20 of those like lined up on a shelf or on a wall. Like that would be absolutely amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. And Dave said Trout gets paid $400 per auto he signs for the card companies. Wow, that's crazy. If that's even close to the finances. I mean, I don't begrudge the players.
No.
I think it's
great.
You
don't want to know the things I would do for $400. That's a whole separate video, and it's not going to be suitable for YouTube. But
a 5-second signature?
Oh, no problem. No problem whatsoever.
Levi says, completely agree on buying something important to you. I'm from a few towns over from Trout, so I had to buy his Millville Meteor auto. Great. Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Yeah. But he's just in everything. I see like Topps Fire autos coming out with him and like Topps Definitive autos. And like there's just nothing that's going to set those apart from anything else. Even like his regular Stadium Club autos. The image is cool, but if he's in it,
Yeah, and where I say is if it's from a significant moment for you as a fan, like your Freeman is, if you can identify the moment it's from the game, that's pretty cool.
yes,
I completely get that. Um, the modern stars are signing so much. Where are these going to end up sitting in price value? That's exactly what we're talking about. And I think I'm not sure if it was Nick mentioned that Otani has so many autographs now, and how long is it before we see that? And I agree.
yeah,
I mean, he's
sure.
got some amazing autographs. There's one that Chris and I are trying to get that's not a non-rookie, which is a great image on a Stadium Club Chrome. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, we're in the same boat. We want to stick to his rookie autos, which are already also price wise kind of getting up there, kind of prohibitive.
Like, and the stack of and he has so many rookie autos too.
Yeah, so we're trying to narrow that down. Like, which of these rookie autos do we think?
Yeah,
Kanji auto, yes, that'd be
yeah.
great.
That's probably the absolute. Those are probably the absolute best rookie autos of his. I don't know how many there are, and I'm not even sure. I've seen the finest one.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple Bowmans that have it on, but I
Yeah,
don't know how many he signed that way.
yeah.
Um,
That would be.
Dave was considering getting an 83 silver pack Otani green refractor pitching. Do you guys have any of the silver pack Otanis? We did. I don't know if we have anymore. That green, I'm sure it looks great in green. I love the 83 design. So
Yeah, I did not have. You definitely had some of those. You opened a
yeah,
lot more in 2018 than I did. Yeah, that's a cool. I like
I
those.
only had the base version though, so I ended up getting rid of all of those. Parallel, I mean,
I
if you
mean,
like it,
yeah, if you like it, I don't. What's that going for? What's the asking price on that? Out of curiosity, we can dig into this one a little bit because I think that's an interesting card. In terms of, is that like, I don't know what the card sells for, but is that the best Otani, the best option in that
at
price?
that price, right?
Yeah, I would like to discuss. So whatever, I don't know what that's going for, what the asking price is. If you
Yeah.
could just throw that on the screen, that'd be great. I also saw someone say that booty autos are better than crotch autos, and I totally agree.
Dave says it's on eBay at $1,600. That seems like a lot.
It
Uh,
seems like
Especially green's not a favorite amongst collectors.
it is not.
Um, so as far as resale, you might be kind of putting yourself out a little bit there.
That's definitely if I've got $1,500 and I'm looking to buy an Otani, that's not the card that I would look for. I would
Oh,
try to.
it's at auction. It's auction at 1,600.
Oh,
Wow,
I'd much rather have the series. I know it's not numbered to 99, but I would much rather have the Series 2 SP in a PSA 10.
agreed.
The batting cage one where he's waving and holding the bat. I would
Yeah.
take that card. That's at a flagship. That's not an insert. The silver packs are always a little bit kind of out of the mainstream. I don't know. That's a personal opinion, though.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of the nostalgia factor is pretty big on all the 83s, 84s. There's some really cool autos of young stars, but
Yes, that's actually a perfect example. Actually, I really like those. Oh, damn it! I didn't bring it out here. Oh well, I really like the at a Topps Chrome when they have, and even at a flagship when they have the on-card autos with those flash.
yes,
Like
yeah.
those look. Those I love how those look. That gets me in the nostalgia, the feels.
Right. We've picked up a couple of those, even though we know they're probably not going to be the best long term
Right.
investments, say, just because they look really cool and remind us of collecting as a kid.
Yeah, the '83 Top set when you and I were growing up was always just a little bit too old and a little bit out of reach. Yeah,
Yes.
I think I had a Wade Boggs. That was one
Yeah.
of my first like 20.
Eventually, I had one way off center with a terrible corner, but it was.
But yeah, I love those autos. And Topps Chrome does like 10 or 15 a year, and they're usually pretty low numbered. Like I have the '84 Acuna from his second year, and I love that '84 designs, Braves down the side. But again,
Yes.
I got that because I love how it looks. I'm not expecting that to. It'll probably be $100 card forever because he's going to have that every year. But I still think it's really cool.
Dave, an affection for the X Fractor Otani 99 out of 99 Topps Chrome update. Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that.
I just wanted to get to Dwayne's comment with auto oversaturation. I wish Fanatics would go back to the 90s when companies put out rare numbered inserts that were cool as chase cards for collectors versus all these autos. Yes, exactly. So I'm wondering if that's true about Trout getting that much for an auto. Think of what they could do in terms of using that money for something cool.
Right?
And go back to some game use stuff or pick something from a significant game.
Yeah.
Or to have as a chase card.
Yes, and I don't ever want to see the phrase "not from any particular game or season" or ever again. Like that's just a bunch of
Yeah. Or even player worn, where they're just taking 10 jerseys, putting them on, and taking them off. Give me from a game. Put that hologram on there so you can
right.
see exactly what game it's from. So the card will tell a story. Then it's something to really chase. You want to chase something maybe from a game you went to. It was on your birthday. Well, you know that card is out there, and you can pick it up. Andrew, I messed up. Sold my Otani 2017 Bowman Mega Purple out of 250 gem for 2,700. Yeah, the megas have skyrocketed.
Especially the
I
number.
don't.
I mean, like Andrew, I'm guessing you sold that for a lot more than you paid for it. So I mean,
Right.
take a win. Like that's always a nice thing. Trust me, Jeff and I have sold a good number of cards for less than what we paid.
And what did you put it into? I mean, if you put it into something else at the time that maybe
Yeah.
rose up similarly.
So we were talking about make special, something special that's like super low numbered and rare. I want to just take a brief minute and talk about um, the worst insert set of all time.
Bills. I get. Well, then, Andrew, that's great. I mean, you got to do it sometimes.
Yeah,
If you got to pay your bills, that's the most important thing.
yeah, a win is nice. Trust me,
Yeah.
we don't get a lot of wins in baseball. And Andrew, hopefully you're not one of the people holding, five figures under Franco, but losses are way more common than wins. So
Yeah.
take
So
one if you can.
if you can use any hobby money to pay bills, that's a win.
Yeah, it's nice transfer of from hobby life to real life is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, 2022 Topps gave us the single worst insert set of all time. I'm super confident about that. It's worse than anything they did in the 90s. Anything
I
they did.
can't even believe it's an insert set. I can't even believe it.
But I'll get into it briefly. But I want to say on a positive note, they improved it for 2023, and I think they gave us some of the coolest autos that I've seen in a while. First, in 2022, they had veteran autos. Some of you probably remember this right off the top of your head. If you don't, please look up the 2022 Topps Chrome checklist and just marvel at this. It's a 47 player checklist of non-rookie autos, and it is spectacular in how fucking awful it is. And just the audacity of them to get to put this in like a marquee product and think we want it is so laughable. That you almost
Can you give us the names of some of the guys on the list?
Oh, I wrote down a little highlight.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So here we go. Again, these are autos considered hits. These are not rookies. They were called veteran
You buy
autos.
the box. You buy the box. You're looking for the auto,
Yeah.
and you can pull this. 2 autos. Okay.
And by the way, they had like parallels, like the rainbow of refractors was in here. So here we go. Adam Frazier, Chris Taylor, Brandon Lau, Garrett Crochet, Jared Walsh, Jesse Winker, Luke Voigt, who I think is playing for the Savannah Bananas right now, Mark Canha, Max Muncy, sorry, Jesse, Trevor Rogers, Tyler Stevenson, Ryan Jeffers, Taiwan Walker, Zach Plesac, and newly minted Braves legend, Nicky Lopez. I just cannot imagine.
So that's your hit.
Put these in there.
It's not a rookie of those players. It's just, yeah.
Veteran autos. Oh, Alec.
What did those boxes run? We didn't buy any last year, I don't think so. I don't know.
Remember they came out hot. I think a hobby box was like $250. Remember the price had gone up from the year before.
Oh yeah.
So they gave us those, and then I think it was still like 120. I said newly minted Braves legends, Nicky Lopez. But what was I going to say? They had like 120 rookies too. So that's 167 potential autos, out of which maybe you'd want 6, 5. Now, to be fair, there was Juan Soto was part of the veteran auto, so by far the best.
Right, but even that, you pull a Soto, okay, you pull a Soto and some random rookie, okay, and you paid $250 for the box. How much does that Soto get you back if you're going to sell it?
Yeah, if you sell it the first week or two the product comes out, you get your box money back. I bet you get $250 for it.
Yeah. What about now?
Less. But I bet it's a $100 card now.
Yeah, and this goes back to the point that I think Dwayne was making, is just putting different cards in there that you want to chase instead of going for these autos. Put something you'd be more interested in getting.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the thing. Once they introduce autos, autos are always going to just beat everything else, right?
Yeah.
So here's what they did. So if I may, real briefly, that was 2022. For 2023, they upgraded this in the greatest way possible. Instead of veterans, now we got legends.
Great.
So they 14 legends. And these autos, they come with a small parallel. They're numbered out of 50. There's orange and red. So 50, 25, 80 plus a super, 81 of each one total. And this checklist is phenomenal. Pujols, Chipper, Cal Ripken, Jeter, Ortiz, Greg Maddux, Ichiro, Bench, Mark McGwire, Piazza, unfortunately as a Met. Sorry, Jesse. Mariano, Nolan Ryan, Pedro, and Randy Johnson. Those are great.
That would be awesome to pull any of those.
Yes, those would be great.
Have any of those been pulled and sold?
Yeah, there's a bunch of a lot of them are redemptions. I really want to see what the Maddux looks like. I really want a Maddux, but they're all redemptions from what I have seen. I can tell you that I think the Maddux Orange sold for about 210 or something on eBay.
Wow.
But yeah, Nick, that's a really good list.
That's a great checklist. Shelly says a base Soto auto sold for $125 recently, so half the price of the box.
Half the price of the box.
Henry says I like the Topps Downtowns as chase cards too. Yeah, those seem to be popular. I don't have any of those, but they do seem to be popular.
They look good, yeah.
A home field advantage is Downtown's the Panini version that they kind of just borrowed. Right? Yeah.
Borrowed without permission, we'll say. I forget the word for that. But yeah,
Ben says most of the 50s have been between 125 and 175.
Okay.
So I mean, there you go. Like, if you're gonna buy a hobby box, wouldn't you just rather buy one of those Legends autos out of 50? Because if you got those, I mean, that would be huge to pull it out.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what it just doesn't offer the thrill of the break.
Right, but eventually there's gonna be diminishing returns. These companies are gonna start seeing it. They're not yet, obviously, because they're just keep pumping up the print run, pumping up the auto subjects, and it's not really hurting their bottom line. But eventually, if enough people think, wow, I'd rather buy I don't know, any one of those guys you named, a Greg Maddux auto, instead of buying the box.
I think in a general way, I think Fanatics looks at it like, if they're going to sell 500,000 boxes, I'm just making up a number. I don't think it doesn't matter to them if 100,000 people each buy 5 boxes or 500,000 people each just take a shot and say, I'll buy 1 box. Sure. I don't think they get that. I think that matters, but it doesn't matter to them.
No.
So they're going to get more people to buy product. And to do that, they have to make more product. But it's the smarter thing is to make less product and make it better. But that's...
Yeah. But then the price will also go up. Yes. So I think it is a fine line, right? So then you have different tiers of products. Well, then you have the upper tier where any auto you get is going to be satisfying. But how much you have to pay for a box like that?
And what did they just come out with? Top Sterling? And Scotty did a great breakdown. He watched like 100 boxes get ripped. And what was the buy-in for those boxes? Like $700+?
Yeah, $700 or $800.
Conclusion was like 10%. You get something like that. So
even some boxes that seemed like you'd be really excited about the autos you'd pull or the cards you'd pull. He saw the resale value and it was like less than half the box.
Yeah, because
that's a box with what, 4 cards in or 5 cards in? It's a very
all those products like Triple Threads and Definitive and even Dynasty to a point, like they're putting the same superstars in these sets every single year. Like each new year is just going to diminish the value from the year before.
Yeah, and I know we mostly talk about baseball, but that's a big conversation in the basketball market where it was like they did a special triple logo man of LeBron James where he had different logos from each of his different teams or different championship teams. And so that's the huge chase card. Brewers won. Thank you.
And also Shelly the Turtle, thank you for that. So it was between 2 to 5 boxes out of 100.
That made money.
That break. Yeah.
And so then you think, well, then you got to up the ante next year. So then is there going to be another triple logo man? And if they do that, then does that diminish the previous one? So yeah, I feel like eventually it's going to be an oversaturation point where people are going to be fed up with it. We haven't got there yet. And you're right. It matters. The bottom line matters to Fanatics. And so until they stop selling whatever they're going to sell,
Yeah, I hate this is gonna sound strange coming out of my mouth, but I was looking at some Instagram some breakers to see like what their prices were, and I saw like an 8 box
Oh,
jumbo case. Yeah,
then triple over.
an 8 box jumbo case. So that's
Okay.
24 autos. If you wanted the Braves in there, it was like 245 or $265, something like that. I think it's like one jumbo box. If I were to go out and buy one jumbo box, that's essentially the price I'm going to pay. But I don't want any of those other players anyway. I feel like what Fanatics is essentially doing is pushing everyone into breaking. It's driving us to breakers. If
Well,
you
that segues nicely to MJR's sports cards comment. Do you feel the Breakers Delight format is just another step towards ruining the hobby from Fanatics? Um, yeah,
I,
I don't really know what to think. Our friend Bill ended up buying one of those at the National. Got a Breakers Delight box. I can't
yep,
remember what he paid, 4 1/4 or something like that. three
yeah,
seventy
I
five.
didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah, something like that.
I
Yeah,
can't remember what it was, but it was so cool to see all parallels and numbers being pulled.
yeah.
You get rid of all your base cards that you might not be interested in. It's definitely not a collector's product, right?
I'd say it's a pretty high end, but yeah, he was. It stunk because I think he pulled out everything was like shiny. It was
Yeah.
number refractor, blue, green, weird shit colors that don't matter. Then some autos, and it was just like it was fun. Like you said, it was really fun to look at, but it was still about what $25 worth of value.
Yeah.
I think he was pretty bummed. But yeah, it's just a roll of the dice. Really. But yeah, I wouldn't say ruin is a strong word.
Yeah.
Change is definitely probably a better word.
Right.
Uh,
It did. I know one thing that we talked about was when we saw that was how do they decide which cards go into which product? I mean, are the better cards being shuffled into that Breaker's Delight product, or is it somehow randomized in terms of the product that go to hobby shops and Target and
Yeah, that's what I don't like. I don't like the idea that they know where stuff is going, and they definitely do. Like when a Shohei Otani superfractor gets pulled, at the National, it just makes you think that they knew that was in one of the cases that they sent to someone at the National to sell and rip. And I
yeah.
mean, I get it from a promotional standpoint. It's a great idea, but I just don't like the idea that they know where some of these cards are going, and they
Yeah, it
definitely
definitely takes some of the mystique away and some of the idea that anybody could pull it. Somebody
right.
that picks up a retail blaster could pull a superfractor. I mean, it takes that away. I feel like Fanatics is in this for the money and not for the collector.
Well,
I,
for
yeah, I
sure.
mean, they spent an absolute fortune to get those rights. So there's two things to that. They obviously feel that there's more money to be made in the hobby and that they can utilize it. And they've also got to make their investors happy. So
Yeah.
yeah, you hope that they talk with some collectors in the hobby. You hope that that's part of it. I know that was their big selling point that they've got a lot of collectors in their ranks, as it were. But yes, certainly money is gonna drive a lot of bottom line
Right.
things.
Like, and to be completely fair, like you can't fault them. I mean, they like you said, they spent a shit ton of money to get these rights and have this ability to make this stuff. Like, if they lose money in the hobby, that's bad for us. Like, if they go bankrupt, that's really really bad for us. Like, we don't want that to happen. So we want them to make money. I think we just have to sort of reevaluate how we attack the hobby. Like
Agreed.
you and I,
Andrew says, "Do you think the serial numbers on boxes have any tells as to what's inside?" Now, I would say with tops, given the way that they ran things and kind of the antiquated way they did things, I would say no. But for a company like Fanatics, I cannot believe that they would not know exactly where everything's heading.
it's hard to say. I look. I can see both sides of the argument. Like, one, can a company that can't center a goddamn baseball card possibly track inserts by serial numbers on the boxes? You would say no, but at the same time, yeah, I'm sure they know exactly where. They know what the biggest cards are, and I bet they know exactly where they're
Yeah. Yeah,
going.
and you just one thing that Fanatics promised when they took over at least the licenses was transparency, and that was a big selling point because at first collectors were like, "Whoa, what's going on?" But that was one of their things. We're promised transparency. We're going to let you know how many cards we're printing, etc. But so far, that hasn't happened.
No, unless what they mean by transparency is more breaking on video. I think we've definitely seen that.
Yeah. Shelly, there's something with a product that certain boxes were marked. Can't remember the year of sport, but I'm sure they're marked somehow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, some things are not going to change. Like we know, like they can make 1,000,000 parallels, they can make 27 parallels, and print 3,000 rookie autos. But we all know that gold, orange, red are going to be the best ones. So it's
Yeah.
just it depends on how you want to approach this and like what you want to do. Like you and I have largely given up ripping, except Stadium Club and Stadium Club Chrome, which we enjoy.
Yes.
But we're
And
not doing.
it's sad, but yeah, once you get up to two, three, four, $500 a box, it's really hard to justify.
Yeah, it's hard to stomach. It's just hard to stomach that kind of risk.
Yeah.
Um,
MGR would really see more fairness from them. If you buy a box, you should have the same chance of pulling something special as anyone else. Like you guys said, just to want it known beforehand. I agree. Yeah. And that's part of that transparency issue. If they're going to come out with these products, push towards breakers who are on their own payroll. Of course, they're going to want them to get good cards. So, yeah, it looks a little shady. And it's just transparency would be good.
right. I mean, if they know that Shohei Ohtani Superfractor exists and it's a card everyone's going to want to see, it makes sense for them to get publicity out of that. If they put that, if that happens to sneak into a retail blaster and get opened by some 9-year-old kid, there's a decent chance it never sees the light of day.
Yeah.
Like Fanatics benefits from that, getting video of that at the National, and then the kid grading it at the National, like getting a 10. I mean, like, how many people saw that video? How many people know that card was pulled there? Like, it worked. It stinks, and you hate to say it worked, but it really, really worked.
Yeah, but I agree absolutely, MJR. There should be you should at least feel that there's some sort of fairness and transparency there.
Yeah.
And with the moves that they've made so far, I don't know if that's really happening. So
I saw there was a question, a couple comments back. I don't know if you can find it.
with all the gazillion of issues on the scene, Davo asks, which three would you pick if you could only buy three different issues of a player's rookie card?
Ooh.
We've kind of talked about this, how we're gravitating towards flagship and chrome
For sure.
in terms of rookie cards. So those would probably be the top two unequivocally.
Yeah, I mean, if they exist. So I would say like
Right.
a very clean flagship black is probably number one. A chrome, if there's a chrome SSP, that might be number two, and then the flagship SSP might be number three.
Yeah, I think he was talking about issue like products themselves, but yes, very specific cards. Yes, we could go that route. But I think even with the general products, sticking to flagship chrome for rookies and maybe Bowman Chrome, which we love, but it hasn't really caught on the same way.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I would say if you do somebody's Bowman first, their tops rookie, flagship rookie, and tops Chrome flagship rookie. I think those are three, and especially if you can get parallels of those, that'd be great.
absolutely. And I will say, so Topps recently just came out with their Bowman Chrome checklist for this year. They haven't released the names, but they've released like the numbers, the parallels, and what's going to be in there. The Bowman Chrome prospect autos, buy a hat, as they said, and as Tina Fey said in SNL, buy a hat and hold the fuck onto it. Because your first Bowman Chrome autos are going to have probably close to 3,000 different cards, different parallels. There are 1,961 numbered parallels, and plus God knows how many base cards these kids are signing. So, I mean,
So
that
3,000 autos
3,000 autos.
per
It's going
player.
to the moon. But buried in that product, I will always love like the rookie autos that are in there.
Yeah.
The checklist, the parallels are so small by comparison. I'll pull it up in a second and give you a number.
But you got to buy those, and you can't rip
Oh,
those products.
never pull them.
Autos.
Never gonna pull them. Those boxes are so small. My wife got me a Bowman Chrome box for my birthday last year, and it was really fun to open. But the best card in that box, that had 4 autos and like 3 numbered refractors, was a base Mike Trout.
Yeah. It's so disheartening when that happens. I've seen a couple comments talking about Heritage. Absolutely, that's another great product, especially if you're talking about the red inks that we talked about before, or the action variations.
And the throwbacks too. Don't forget those throwbacks that are just
Yeah,
buried like beautiful needles in an endless haystack.
yeah,
Yeah, Heritage is really cool. I love that product because we love those old designs, and the on card autos are great, and they're like the quality of that stuff. Like the printing is usually it's centered, it's a little thicker. Like those are really nice cards.
yeah. And Heritage too, to be fair, is still a reasonably priced product, so it's a
Yeah.
fun one to rip. You're probably not going to get exactly what you're after, but you can pull some fun stuff. Um, Andrew says, "Why does it feel like blue or green refractor yield more than a black refractor auto? Is color more important than numbering?" Um,
Well, generally speaking, yes, color is definitely more important than numbering. But I
but
don't
the
even.
product he's talking about as well.
Yeah, like what? I don't. Do they? Where are black refractors these days? Their Topps Chrome doesn't make them anymore.
Heritage, maybe, but are they autos?
No, there's no black refractor autos in Heritage.
No.
Do you mean like Prospect autos? Do they do black refractors there?
Oh, Bowman Chrome, which are out of 75. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Because I think. Wait a second. Da, 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 da.
Blue is really still popular. Yeah, black in Bowman Chrome Prospect autos is not that popular. I think they look great, but yeah, they're out of 75. They're not quite as sought after. Blue and gold and orange are still the top, and red, of course. But um,
Hold on. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through
yeah,
the Bowman checklist here real quick. Um, I did notice that one of my favorite cards to look at every year is the Bowman Chrome rookie image variations.
yeah,
I'm not sure if they're SPs or SSPs. I think in around 17 and 18, they're definitely SSPs because we did the math, and there's like 400 and change of each of those. Now it might be closer to SP. I'm sure they're printing more, but they're doing a random parallel now this year for the first. Just kind of a bummer. Sorry.
So Ben Heritage has black refractors out of 74 this year, but they're not autoed, right?
Yeah, those aren't autos.
Aren't they
I was
just?
just trying to look up where there are black refractor autos.
I think Bowman Chrome and Bowman Chrome Draft
Oh,
is.
for prospects.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think when you're looking at autos, the history of the color parallel does matter. So
and I
gold's
would
always
I would think that the black. I would. I'm surprised to hear you say that the green outsells the black. Green 99 outsells the black, but I guess maybe green does have a longer history with Bowman Chrome as well. But yeah,
I don't see black on the 2023 checklist. I do see green, but I would say that blue would probably outsell black because there have been blue refractors. Oh God, don't make me come up with this on the top of my head. Since like 2007. I don't know, Ben. If you're still in here, you're gonna know this better than me. It's something like 7 or 8. I think there've been blue refractors since sometime around then.
yeah.
The black ones, I don't know, but yeah. So I'm looking at the checklist. I don't see black autos in Bowman Chrome.
Doc likes the Brave City Connect.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of really cool details. There's like a little Hank Aaron quote down here on the bottom.
What does it say?
It says "Keep swinging,"
Keep
and it's
swinging.
got in his handwriting. It says number 44.
Nice. MJR says Bowman. Yeah, that's the only black refractor auto I can think of that's out now.
Yeah.
Andrew, I have the 2019 Corbin Carroll auto, and I just don't feel like I'm going to get the true worth out of it. Wow, that sounds like a great card, man.
If you have if that's that black auto, maybe just hang on to that one for a little bit.
Ben says blue longer than gold. I think maybe the same year.
Okay. But yeah, so real quick, I'm looking at this Bowman Chrome checklist here, and they're now offering. Oh boy, I'm gonna put it in quotes because they're putting it in quotes. So they have the rookie image variations.
Right.
Have that Devers auto, and Otani has the carrying the bag. Hold on. Oh goodness. Yeah. Otani's got this one, which is like one of my favorite cards. And then there's 25 autos, which is crazy cool. They have rookie color run variations, numbered to 23. It just bums me out that they're going to take something. They're just going to add a parallel in there. That makes me sad.
Rookie colored run variation.
Yeah, so they'll use the rookie image variation, whatever the different images. They'll give it. It's described as a tie-dye background based on the players' team colors.
Well, that's interesting that every player is going to have a different parallel. I like that idea.
Well, the rookie ones will.
Right.
So there'll probably about 15 of them. Yeah, they'll be the colors should. Oh my God, if the colors are all the same, what a kick in the nuts that would be, right?
Well, yeah, I don't like the tie-dye idea, but I do like having different teams have different parallels.
Yeah, different colors for different teams. I like that. But that's all going to come down to the image and how cool those images are going to be. Like I loved, God, I hate to say it, but I do like that Wander Franco where he's kind of like pointing up.
Yeah.
I wish he didn't bastardize it by putting it in Stadium Club Chrome, but worse than Speckle. Yeah, I mean,
tie-dye.
I still haven't. I can't bring myself to buy a Speckle. I don't know, Ben. You might have that Freddie Freeman Chrome SB holding the trophy from 2022. I don't have one yet. I just can't buy a speckled refractor. I just can't do it. At some point I will suck it up, but I haven't been able to yet.
No, but I like the idea of having different players have the same numbered parallel, but have it be different colored backgrounds. That's cool. It sounds like something that would be difficult for their printers to do. Like, might take a second of thought.
Yeah, so we can assume they're all going to be off-centered. Dwayne, Dwayne, I'm with you, buddy. This is one of my absolute favorite cards. I kind of love the bag too. It almost looks like a golf bag that he's got more than a baseball bag.
Yeah,
makes me think of
bat. You may have missed this comment from Jesse Galvez. Does your jersey have the cool Quikrete patch on it?
Oh, you know what? It doesn't. I'm kind of bummed, actually. I didn't
think an official one.
But I think, actually, I've seen other people in the stands with this jersey, and now I think all the new ones do have the Quikrete on them. So, I don't know. Maybe I got one of the rare pre-Quickretes.
Yeah, yours might be an SP.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Stadium, if I wear this, I may ask them if they can quick iron Quikrete on for me.
Just take a Sharpie to your shoulder and just add that.
Oh man, that Quikrete thing is it's something. It's really something. Yeah, it's not authentic then.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I'm excited to see what some of these Bowman Chrome rookie image variations are going to look like. But just going to add to the rookie auto pile that these 2023 rookies are going to have. Gathered into the no patch. Yeah.
So I guess I honestly don't hate the Quikrete patch. All right, you got a fan.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of like it is sort of entertaining to look and see what ads all these teams have. Like the Astros have a huge Oxy, which I'm sure is some kind of cleaning product. But if you grew up when Jeff and I did, Oxy was like a pimple cream. So that's all I think about when I see the Astros at the plate now. It makes me think of all the different pimple creams I tried in like the mid to late 1990s.
Pretty soon it's going to be exactly like soccer jerseys where they're just all over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dwayne asked about Witt pique your interest with the surge he's had in the second half. Dwayne, I'm not sure if you were here earlier, but here's a card that Chris just picked up in talking about Witt. I'm not going to skip a chance to show this one again.
Oh yeah, no, it shines up so nicely.
Yeah. It does, and here's one I picked up. So yeah. Witt did pique our interest, although we bought both of these before his surge. So
we did, you especially. I think you bought that gold like right before his run really started. If anyone, so hold up that Stadium Club auto one more time.
Yeah.
If anyone in here is a particular high roller, there's a red refractor version of this card currently sitting on eBay. It's not mine. It's not Jeff's, but it looks incredible. I think it's actually in a PSA 10 slab. I highly recommend taking a look at it. Like, even if you're not going to buy it, but I mean, I don't know.
What are they asking for it? Here's yours out of 25.
I'm not sure. Probably a lot, and they should because it looks awesome. But
so Dwayne, once we post this, check out our discussion of Witt from earlier. We talked a little bit about his potential and where we think he's going to end up. He's still only 23. He's just putting some impressive stats together. So, yeah, might be worthwhile. But he does have a ton of rookie autographs. That's one thing Chris talked about, and why he chose this one was because it meant something to him personally.
Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, the guy's asking $2,000 or best offer. And it's actually PSA 9. But it's, I mean, number out of 5, who cares? As long as it's not bench. It's a really cool card. And the reds with that 91 design just look so good. There's so much red in the background. I gotta stop looking at that card. I have to close that window. Might make a, but yeah, we
All
do.
right. So,
Like,
but getting back to your topic of what era this is, the
yes.
junk parallel era, junk autograph era, and we talked about even great players. Like if we open a box and pull a Trout auto, we'd be ecstatic because he is a great player. But yeah, down the road, how many of those tens of thousands of autographs are really going to hold value?
Yeah, I mean, if you could put a number on how many Trout probably started massively signing in what, like 13, 14?
Yeah.
I would say he's probably every year he must have at least 5,000 autographs on Topps products. Like at least, right? Maybe more.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Davo. How cool does that card look? I'm glad. Thank you for looking it up. How just absolutely visually gorgeous is that card? It's tremendous. I don't know. I mean, how can the demand really handle that supply? I like what Cardboard Showcase was saying with the Heritage Reds,
Yeah.
and I complete a run of a very specific insert like that. Fantastic. I love it. But
And a sought after insert with history and has a lot of collectors on it. So not a Topps Fire based
perfect, yeah. I
auto
mean,
run.
fire every year with some sticker autos.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see any down the road value on something like that when he signs on card like 4,000 times. Oh God, do the math. If he signs 5,000 cards every year for Topps at $400 a piece,
I can't imagine. He doesn't need the money, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
is that $4 million, or is it 400,000? Either way, that's an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
God bless him. I will very briefly. Let me just talk about a different Freeman auto that I picked up in the last couple of months. That again, I have absolutely no expectations this card will maintain any value. But look how cool this is.
Yeah.
And if you grew up in the 90s and the 80s, that they used the design from 2015 Bowman's Best, which is a pretty iconic set for us 80s, 90s guys. One of the really like first shiny, like silvery chrome sets. So all these the autos were really, really hard to pull. This one's numbered out of 50 because it's the base. And I think it cost me about $90.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's probably, I can't imagine every year Freeman signs thousands of cards too. I don't know what makes this better than others to anyone but me.
It's up to you personally, right?
Right. So I'm happy to spend $100 on a baseball card that I really like.
Yeah.
For me. And a quick sidebar to the wife. I'm fully confident I can resell this for twice that money. Asterisk and footnote removed.
Jorge says, "How do y'all like Cosmic Chrome?" And Cosmic Chrome is, there are some cool ideas in there, and there's some cool images, but I think we've just been so desensitized with all of these Chrome products that keep coming out that it's hard to really appreciate any of that.
Oh yeah, Ben, I apologize for bringing that one up. The orange is still out there, and it's on my slabs as well. I highly recommend you just bite the bullet and buy it and hope the postal system does you better this time. I would say Cosmic Chrome. Jeff and I are personally disgusted by Cosmic Chrome, by the idea of its existence. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to own any of it. And I really hope that the people watching this video don't go buy it.
That's it. Yeah, that's pretty strong. I feel like until people stop buying all of these other Chrome products, they're really not going to focus on trying to make the products that we do want better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like here's a quick. I feel like this should work, but like 10 years from now, if you have a Bobby Witt Cosmic Chrome insert auto that you want to sell, how quickly could you explain to a prospective customer what it is you're trying to sell? And if you think it's going to take you more than like 30 seconds, then that's probably not going to be a great long-term card.
Yeah.
Like the top Chrome Bobby Witt autos, like if you can get a pure color, that'd be great.
But once how that card 10 years from now fits into the pantheon of all the cards that happen between now and then. Okay, this has come up a couple times. Dwayne, exactly. Take Cosmic Chrome, number to 50 and less, stuff it in Topps Chrome as an insert. Agreed. That'd be great. Cosmic Chrome would be pretty dope insert set, not a
Yep.
standalone product. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely with that. They have these great ideas, make them chase cards in their main product.
Yeah, yeah. It would. That's the thing they could use to make Chrome bigger. They could put like one
Yeah,
parallel in every box,
yeah,
and then it would take off a little bit. But
agreed.
the idea that some of these cards are the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Remember we talked about the Julio Rodriguez? I think
yes,
that Topps Chrome and Sonic, where it's
yeah.
the exact same card with the logos reversed.
All right, and they just made the rookie card logo slightly bigger on one. You're like,
Yeah,
come on, put a little effort in here, guys.
like I mean, that's the bare goddamn minimum that they had to do. But
Yeah,
yes, so long story short, no, Jeff and I don't like to venture past that first branch of like releases.
yeah, and we've kind of learned that seems to be where the value holds the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Topps Chrome Black, for example. A lot of those cards look great. But I don't have any, I don't think you have any. I don't really actually know anyone that has any of it because it's watering down Topps Chrome.
right.
Like it's just the next, it's like it's too far off the mainstream.
But again, those would make great inserts or chase cards. Throw them in there. That would get people to buy the main product. And
Yeah.
it's just too many out there. I know Fanatics said they're going to kind of bring it in a little bit, but seems like that they're just introducing more products for every one that they cut out of their production.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, some of those cards do look cool, but I mean, if you see a Topps Chrome Black Auto that speaks to you, you love how it looks, go for it. But I mean, just know that the card you're buying will never be worth more than what you're paying for it. Would be
Right.
my guess. I don't know
Yeah.
if you.
And if it happens to be that particular player is a mediocre player but becomes an all-time great, the value might go up slightly. But yeah, you got to go in thinking you're buying it just for you, for your enjoyment of it.
Yes, that's pretty much how I feel about any Freeman Auto that I buy because I
Yeah.
know, like we said, he is in every single set.
Yeah.
I would love to know if Trout gets $400. What does Freeman get?
Yeah. How do they negotiate this? I like that.
Like I would say he's maybe $50. He's probably 1/8, give or take. I don't know.
Even that's some nice change as that adds up.
Oh yeah, that covers dental bills for sure. What was I saw someone just mention opening day in a comment, but I didn't see what.
Yeah, Henry said I feel like flagship has too many series, opening day, series 1, series 2 and update. I don't think opening day is really considered a
Yeah,
series flagship.
and it's also done.
Yeah, they're done with that.
Yeah, no more opening day.
Um, and flagship, I mean that is their premier product. So I don't begrudge them for putting out 3 different versions of that during the year, but maybe don't put out, I don't know.
It just seems like there's too many.
Cos-
Topps Chrome was supposed to be their thing. Like this is their marquee release, and
Yeah.
now we get Topps Chrome Sonic, Topps Chrome Cosmic, Topps Chrome Black, and then like even the Sapphire stuff. They started mass producing Sapphire to the point where it's like it's hurt. I feel like when they released Topps Chrome, they're like, well, here it is. Here's our big product release. And then 2 months later, they're like, here's Topps Chrome Sapphire. It's even better. Like they're shitting on the thing that they put out like a few months before.
And it's fine if everybody's got a shitload of money, they just keep throwing at the hobby. But in this case, it's not really happening that way anymore.
No, I mean, God bless people who can just go out and buy Sapphire boxes and rip them for the hell of it. But I mean, that would literally scare me to death. You get like 30 cards in a box out of a 700 card set, and like good luck to you.
And now you go to Target or Walmart and you see rows and rows of boxes. Everything's there. When a few years ago it was hard to find anything. So
Right. But I do think like in a vacuum that's good for the hobby. That's access, it's out there. But we just have to be smarter about how we spend our money.
well, and I think yes, and I think that shows that eventually that's going to filter down to the companies that say, "Wow, all this product is sitting out there. Maybe we don't need to make quite so much of it, or quite so many different variations."
Yeah, it is interesting when you see all that. Like there are some targets that just you see pictures online and it's just jam packed.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to a Target with my mom when I go to visit them, and they don't even know what sports cards are.
Right. Well, it depends on where you are. Yeah, for sure.
But
Uh,
anyone, I don't know. Have you heard anything about Stadium Club yet? I have not heard a whisper of 2023 Stadium Club.
Nothing. Don't know if you guys saw, but the buyback program is not like last year. This year is only cards for 2023 Topps Chrome and from Chrome Logo Fractor.
Is that what was different than last year?
It was last year.
Yeah, I thought the same thing for last year. Also, so Logo Fractor, they're doing it again. We should have assumed that's sold out, so of course they're going to do it again. Does anyone know when that comes out? I have not seen a release date.
It's another Chrome product.
Yeah.
Oh, Sonic. Sonic.
All right. I didn't realize that was part of it.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, all right. I really enjoy seeing the pure gamblers on Facebook and Instagram buying up all the Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Matt Olson Topps Chrome cards they get their hands on.
I think somebody, I can't remember who, somebody mentioned that in the chat earlier, that's an easier way to buy in than trying to get MVP odds. So.
Has anyone, I haven't seen one, and you tell me if you have, I've not seen any of the buyback autos.
I haven't either.
I've seen the stamps, but not the autos yet. Yeah. I was just glancing at the checklist when I relived that veteran insert auto checklist, but it does say that they're numbered at
23, right?
Or 22, I think. It should be 23.
22.
Yeah, Andrew P. I have not seen them yet either. And that's going to be a really weird card. If Acuna does win the MVP, and there's 23 of those next year, man, that's going to be fun to try and chase a little bit. Oh, they've been redemptions. Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to churn those out very quickly.
And I haven't even seen those redemptions up for sale. No. Yeah, and I don't know. I think the other a question that reminds me that came up earlier in the chat about this is the value of the players. Will it change the value of those players' cards who win the MVP? Because let's say Ohtani wins, people send the gold refractor in, and there's less gold in circulation.
Yeah, we talked about that last year. Yeah, with Judge, and yeah, I mean, what was the buyback for a Judge gold was like $400 some odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Goldie too. Yeah, I'd take that money.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a random like Paul Goldschmidt's 11th year gold refractor being worth more than $400 just because there might be 20 of them instead of 50.
Right. I can't either. I think it'd be such an incremental difference.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if you have one of those, although I will say Ohtani might be slightly different.
Maybe.
Because if he does do what some of us, Jeff and I included, think he might do, if he becomes an absolute all-time great, all his gold refractors are going to be more valuable than what Topps is going to buy them back for.
Yeah, that just makes me wonder how many of his will get sold back.
Right. That's very true. Yeah, they'd have to up the price for him, I think.
Yeah.
He should be more than Acuna's, assumably.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, you have I think it was Andrew, has the gold Judge or gold Goldschmidt. That's awesome. Yeah. And also, if it's centered well, if you think it would, this shouldn't matter, but it always does. But if you have a gold Ohtani from this year and the centering is perfect, then maybe just grade it and hang on to it.
Yeah.
But if it's like way off top to bottom, then I would absolutely cash it out.
Cash it out, buy another Ohtani.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Any final thoughts you wanna put in about the junk auto era that we're in, or the junk?
Sort of like just kind of reiterate what we were talking about. Like there are so many, the shimmer, the speckle, or the if you have a speckle, a shimmer. Well, hold on. The speckle's the image variation, right? Where he's like he's holding his glove and his hat. I don't think I would turn that one in. That's like the SP, the image variation gold. I would probably hang on to that one, even though it's a speckle. God, I hate even saying the word speckle. I say it with such vitriol. I would just say, like, if you're buying autos of veteran players that aren't rookies, like, just be careful out there. But buy the card because you like it and try to get it for as cheap as possible.
I think that's it. Yeah.
And even some of the rookies, like Bobby Witt, like he's got a lot of rookie autos out there, like just a ton. So try to find if you do want to buy one, try to buy one that has some significance in your eyes.
Agreed. It seems like the number of. Do you think less colors would be better for the hobby? Yeah, but that would also mean they'd be harder to pull any parallels, which means maybe boxes wouldn't sell as much, and you need people to open boxes to get singles. Hard to say.
Yeah, it's very much like Yeah. We want more people in the hobby. And if more people in the hobby means we have to print more product, then we're going to have to print more parallels to get hits into the product. And it's just sort of like, it's hard to say.
Right. Then you just got to navigate what those hits are. So yeah, there's you talk about Witt. If you're in the market for an auto, you either buy one like you did, that where it's important to you and you think that you'll get enjoyment out of it. There's just going to be less, hey Spider, there's going to be less investable, let's say,
Yes.
Bobby Witt autos. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what his Topps Chrome Gold auto goes for, but that's probably one that would hold value.
Agreed.
Or his Bowman Chrome first parallel autos. So yeah, you have just a smaller amount of the at the very high end, and the rest are kind of
exactly. Shelly the Turtle. I totally agree with the speckles. It bugs me. It bugs me so much. One of my favorite cards that Jeff and I have is the 2019 Topps Chrome Otani SP. And that year they did, and in 2022 they did image variations, and then they did parallels, but they were the same. They weren't speckles; they were just gold.
Yeah.
So that Otani with Ichiro is just a gold refractor, and it looks fantastic. And I feel like if it were a speckle, it would bug the shit out of me.
It would. I know it would. I know you. Yeah.
I feel like if you're looking at Bobby Witt's like auto checklist, I think there's red, orange, gold, the blue, especially because he's on the Royals. That blue is going to be sort of a color match. Almost everything else, the numbering doesn't even matter. Like green, lava, aqua, wave, like it's all going to end up in a big pile of stuff that people aren't going to care about.
Yeah.
So it may cost you more than you're comfortable spending to get like a Heritage Red or a Topps Chrome Gold, but I think you're going to be way better off.
Yes, if that's what you're in it for, or if you're in it for your enjoyment, pick up one that tickles your fancy. Pick up the throwback Stadium Club like Chris did. You know?
Yeah, I think that card makes me very happy just to look at it.
All right, well, everybody, before we go, I just want to remind you that the Wander, yes, we can talk about him next time, but the Burbank show is coming up very shortly. So if anybody are going to be there, let us know.
Yeah.
Reach out on Instagram. We're going to be there both Friday and Saturday. Just put the Gold Wave Devers rookie card auto for sale at PWCC. Very cool. Nice. You know we love our Devers, wave or not.
We do love some Devers, yeah.
Fuck with that, Spider.
Yes, Anaheim, I assume you're going to be at the show.
I would hope so.
Backyard.
Yeah, so we'll be there and hopefully see some of you guys. Reach out to us on Instagram if you're going to be there. Baseball Card Addict, my favorite cardboard, is our handles on Instagram. Find us there, and we'll be back next week, which I think is the last show right before Burbank, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about
what our plans are, what we hope to do, what we're looking for, and yeah,
we have some pieces moving that we're hoping to maybe some potential deals we're going to try to sort of finalize at Burbank if we can. We'll see. We got to get a little bit lucky, and we have to make some sales, Jeff. We got to make some money.
Yeah, we got to make some sales. Yes. Yeah. Burbank is right next to Philly. Well, hey.
Well,
all those shows are out on the East Coast or even the Midwest. So come out to the West Coast and check out a show.
Yeah, this should be pretty cool. It was really big last time, but I know they're in a bigger event space this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know. Maybe we can help you too. I need some sales. All right. That sounds good. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see what the market's like. Baseball season's kind of winding down. Football season's ramping up. So maybe there'll be some decent baseball prices.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great because as two people that are not in the football market, it would be great to see football kind of step in and take some of the baseball energy away. Yeah. At least for us for buying. Well, the stuff we're trying to sell, let's focus.
Right, we want to try to sell that before we lose that momentum.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Andrew. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciated us. You watching, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to us so you know when we go live, which is every Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have some more videos in between there for you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care. If you pick up any cool Bobby Witt in the next week, please send Jeff and I pictures. We'd love to see it.
Yes, send your wits. All right, see you guys.
See you.